All right, we are moving on to feature 3, which is create project workflow. Okay, so basically, users need to be able to actually use the tool you're making now. Okay, this is like the meat and potatoes of your MVP. All right, so users should be able to create a project. Okay, and then once they create a project, they should be able to create features within that project. Then they should be able to create user stories within those features, and finally, developer tasks within those user stories, okay? This is a really good exercise in using type ORM if you're going with the same tech stack that I'm working with, and using like different foreign keys between tables and nesting data, okay? So it's a really cool exercise, and I'm excited to see what you guys come up with. So let me show you the user stories and what you should be able to do and kind of the details. All right, so first, users should be able to create a project. So you're on your projects page, all right, and the user should be able to click on the Add a Project button, all right, and then that is an accordion that drops down, and you can see a form for a project name and description. You can see if I try to create my project right now, it's going to tell me that my project name is required. But for the first time, a form field is not required. The project description does not have to be filled out. So for project name, we can just do, oh, I am already calling a lot of things test project. So let's say that we're going to make a to-do list is going to be my project, okay? I'm going to just leave the project description blank because that's okay. And then I'm going to create the project. All right, so then when you create a project and click that create project button, you should see your project pop up within the list of projects. Then you can go ahead and click on it. And when you click on a project, it should open up a project specific page with the ID of the project that you just created. Okay. I should also be able to refresh my page and go ahead and find that project. But for example, if I go ahead and go to a page like 300, I type in ID 300, you can see that I don't have access to that project. Okay, so you need to be thinking through some of those edge cases too, all right? If someone's trying to access another user's project, they shouldn't be able to. So all of that needs to be checked on the back end. Okay, so now here, I already have the whole project finished, so you can kind of just ignore the edit buttons for now because that's not part of this feature. But what is part of it is creating features. So users should be able to, once they're within their project specific page, they should be able to add a feature. Okay, so for the feature, I should be able to say, make to-dos, okay? So this is another thing where if I don't have anything and I try to create it, it's gonna yell at me, but I don't need a description. So let's just say the feature is make to-dos. All right, you can go ahead and see that I put in the progress, but you don't really have to worry about this right now because we're only creating the project workflow. All right, so when I click on an individual feature, a modal should pop up, okay? This is our feature modal, okay? Then within this feature modal, I should be able to see my name of my feature, the description if there is one, and then I should be able to add user stories, okay? So I should be able to click on this user story button, and then I see yet another drop-down form, okay? So I would write users are able to create to-do items. Okay, that's my first user story. Once again, the name is required and the description is blank. Okay. Within those user stories, then you need to be able to create tasks. Okay. So if I click on a user story, I'm going to get a drop down where it's going to show the description of the user story. And then it's also going to show me this drop down form for adding a task. Okay. For tasks, they only have names, they don't have descriptions, okay? So this is going to be the things that I do as a developer to make this user story possible. So that would be something like create to-do form on React. All right, I can add multiple, so I can go ahead and add another one. And so maybe it would be like create API with host to-dos route, okay? So that should be part of the create project workflow, all of these things that the user should be able to do. Okay, If you want to have some of these buttons that don't do anything in there in this feature, go for it. Otherwise, just give it your best shot at creating each of these items, and make sure you're testing to make sure that users are only able to access what they are allowed to access, and that everything kind of works as intended. All right. When you're done, throw a post up on any of your social media platforms and tag me in it. I'd love to take a look. All right, good luck.